Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to the channel. For some of you guys, it'll be welcome back to the channel, but, I mean, that's been a long-dated history. It's probably been a few years since I've even posted any content on this channel, and that's going to change from here on out moving forward. I'm also decided that I'm going to change this channel's name. Before, it was just Jeff Young Bowling or something like that. Anyway, it is going to be called the 5-Pin Channel. I think that's more diverse. It's not going to be so much detailed on myself, I believe, and at least hopefully anyway, I get some help from some other people, and maybe some other people can add content to this channel, so you don't have to look at my ugly mug all the time. I'm sure you'll appreciate that. So anyway, life update. As some people know, Jen and I recently decided to up and move from Ontario to Newfoundland, and while that was a big challenging move, we thought that this would kind of be where our heart lies, and so far, a few months in, has not disappointed one bit. We absolutely love it out here. That being said, reasons for the move, and it's a conversation that we have with a lot of people, trying to figure out why would we move out here. Easier pace of lifestyle. We found in Ontario that we were just working so much just to, I don't want to say get by, but we found that we were either working or sleeping all the time, and that's not a way to live a life. And here we have a little bit more free time to do stuff like this, I guess, and we just want to enjoy life a little bit more, and so far so good. We absolutely love it out here, and the people out here are great. The landscape here is amazing. We are actually having what we're being told from everyone around here is our first real snowstorm. It's going to start shortly. It's already snowing. This will be interesting to see because Jen and I lived in what was deemed as the snow belt in Ontario, so I'm just interested to see how that is different than the snowstorms here in Newfoundland. But anyway, check out this view. That blank space out behind the houses there, that is Adams Pond. There's Sky checking out things. You'll probably see quite a bit of her over time, and probably have to hear from her because she's loud. Anyway, back to the bowling. And so kind of to give an update on the bowling landscape. So this is beginning of the new year, first bowling event coming up for us for 2024. We have our third qualifying set for the Open. Now, I'm not saying I'm the brightest person in the world. I'm definitely not. So I'm going to try to explain how our sets go. In Ontario, it was pretty standard. It was 2 sets, 10 games. Most of the time it was on back-to-back Sundays, 20 games total. I do know that there are some zones that went Saturday, Sunday, back-to-back, 10 games each day, which I think is cool. Here, things are done a lot differently. Like I said, this is the third set for us. I am bowling Metro 1, which is Holiday Lanes. Our zones, we've got 4 Metro zones and 1 called West. The Metro zones are just essentially bowling centers. And everyone does things a little bit differently, which is what makes things really confusing for me. I know for us at Metro 1, third set, we do 7-game sets. We have 4 dates, and you bowl 3 of those 4 dates, and you miss 1 of them. So I missed the second date. I was in Ontario actually that weekend, so I wasn't able to bowl, and that means that I have to bowl the next 2. So we've got one on Sunday. This is Friday, and then we have another one in a couple weeks. So now when we're thinking of like other zones, here, one second, turn on some lights. So, Paradise, they do things completely different. Now, they are 7 dates, and they bowl on Sunday evenings, and 6 game sets. And you need to take 5 of those dates to bowl, and you get 30 games. So, we're bowling 21 games, 3 sets out of 4. They're bowling 30 games, 5 sets out of 7. So you can see how things get confusing. I would like to comment on what the other places do. I don't even know what they do for qualifying sets, but it's an interesting dynamic, I guess you could say, having everybody kind of do something a little bit different. Now that is qualifying for men's team, and the mixed team. Ladies team have already bowled their provincial qualifying, and I'm not going to get too into why that's different than the men mixed today, but I do think that it's a valuable video, I think, to discuss at another date. I will say, and I mean, it's just my opinion, I'm just one person, but I think that the way they do it is by far the best way they can do it. Just thinking of like how many bowlers they have in what small space with how many centers or zones. So yeah, maybe look for that video coming up at a later date, but we're not going to get too into that today. For my qualifying in particular, I'm sitting 5th right now. Like you said, I've only bowled the 1 set out of 2. Seems like, I mean, there's the majority of the people that have only bowled 1 set out of 2 so far. But I'm in 5th right now. And then, like, you look at the list of the bowlers, like, Ray Dunphy's in 1st. He's only bowled the 1 set, but I mean, he had like 2002 for 7. So, I mean, he's in great shape. I don't think he's going to be in a whole lot of danger unless, you know, some people go crazy in the next couple sets. And you got, like, Mike Maloney and Smitty Brandon Smith, who I think is the province's best lefty. They're looking pretty good in their spots. And then 4th place is Brad Glynn, myself at 5th, and Shane Chafe in 6th. So, like, if you think of, like, where I'm sitting in 5th place. You know, like, if I want to move up, I got to pass one of the most elite bowlers the Newfoundland has seen. And the person right behind me, if I stumble, is, you know, equally as strong. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy just to think that there's so many top-notch bowlers in just one small area. And then right behind Shane is Mike Upshaw, and he certainly knows how to get things done as well. So, I mean, we got our work cut out for us. Next video, I'm going to take some time and explain, you know, my pre-tournament process, what I'm thinking, what kind of game plan I'm shooting for, because I really think a game plan for a tournament is really important. I think you can't just go in there and think, I'm just going to throw the ball and hope for the best. I try to take some time and think about what I need to do to be successful in the center I'm bowling in. So for Holiday, I'm very hit and miss. And I really should rephrase that. I'm hit or hit too much. I'm either, if I'm successful, I'm in the pocket. And if I am not successful, I'm flush on the middle. And yeah, that makes for a long day. I will say that the centers here in St. John's, they don't oil their lanes and they oil their decks. So a little backwards from a lot of places. And I find once these bowling centers get humid, the ball starts moving even more. I mean, it already moves a lot. So I just have to be mindful of that, and I have to come up with a game plan of when do I abandon what is working at the start. You can see it kind of transitioning and not working anymore, and then what that next move is going to be. Because in 7 games, I'm willing to bet things aren't going to be easy the whole time, and some adjustments are going to be made. And I think those who can be successful more often are the ones that can figure out when that transition happens and when they need to make an adjustment. So we're going to get into that next video. I'm going to show on-lane action as well. I think that'll be kind of cool. Not just myself, I'm going to try and get some other bowlers bowling too. And I'm going to do like a cutaway after maybe a couple games and just talk about what I'm feeling at the time, what adjustments I've made, why did I make those adjustments, how I'm feeling, where everyone else kind of is sitting at that moment, and hopefully it's a more entertaining video than this one will be. This is just going to be some talking. I would consider this as a reintroduction kind of video before we get into the meat and potatoes, if you will. So so next video, hopefully dropping the beginning of next week. By the time I'm done editing, maybe like Monday or Tuesday, we should have another video up, which is exciting news because it's been a long time since we posted anything. And let's hope that there is some success, not only on the lanes, but in the viewership of this vlog as well. And I'm really just hoping that I can kind of maybe fill a void that I think exists in the 5-pin community where we don't really have anything like this. Now, I'm going to be the first to tell you that I definitely don't think that I'm the most qualified person to do something like this, but I also feel like, no one else is doing it, so I feel like this is a missed opportunity if somebody doesn't kind of take the reins on this and start creating some sort of 5-pin specific content aside from our good friends at 5-Pin Universe. They can't be doing everything. We have to help them out too of promoting the game of 5-pin. So, I'm just hoping that this will give and provide a different look, an easternly look of 5-pin bowling and the ins and outs of what hopefully is what makes me successful, and also possibly what makes me unsuccessful in the coming events in the next near future. So all I can ask is that you give me your thoughts, suggestions, criticism, if you will. Leave me a comment, send me a message, and just get at me and kind of tell me what you're thinking. How are you feeling? Do you think this is going to be a good idea? Am I wasting my time? No, don't tell me that part, because then that'll make things worse. Tell me what you'd like to see, and we'll go from there. I'm going to make sure that I spend a good amount of time listening to people who take the time to watch these videos and give them, the content that they're looking for. And I can't do that if I'm kind of just left out to figure it out on my own. So hopefully you find these videos entertaining and useful, and I guess we'll see you on the next video. So until then, good luck and good bowling.